supposed to be in life, things happen to us that we find ourselves wondering, why is this happening to me? Then there are times where you are where you're supposed to be, right? And things happen to you, and you tell yourself, this is happening for a reason. And this is happening because of me and for me. We should always tell ourselves that this is happening not just to me, or really, this ain't really just happening to me. It's happening for me, and it's happening because of me. And if it were, and were it not for me, it would not be happening. But sometimes we put ourselves in predicaments that we don't need to be in that predicament for any longer than we need to, but we often stay longer because of comfort. I was in such predicament, 4 years ago around this time, around July, and I cut that situation off because I understood that if I allowed this situation to remain in my life for any longer than it needed to, any longer, I had already let it be in my life long enough. But I guess it had to be in my life for that long in order for me to learn the lessons, the life lessons that would help me in the long run. But when I cut that situation off, I realized I cut it off with this understanding. The longer this remains in my life, along with like bad habits, right? The longer these bad habits, these people, these things remain in our life, the longer it takes for us to actually receive what we desire, all the satisfying goods that we desire in life, because those things that are not supposed to be in our life are taking up the space of those things that we really want in life. As you mature, we figure these things out, but the longer it takes for us to move on eliminating the habits, the things, the places, the people, the thought patterns, emotional patterns that are not conducive towards our desired outcome, the longer we entertain those things, the longer we hold the space for the things, the places, the people, the thoughts and emotions that are a part of the life and lifestyle that we truly do desire. Those encouraging, those positive, those powerful, those self-affirming thoughts, those loving relationship, those prosperous situation, and and circumstances, and so on and so forth, those feelings. But we have to have the intestinal fortitude to make the small measurable progress, because without those small measurable progress, we will not receive our desired outcome, yo. And hey, there's a lot going on today, man, with social media, with technology. If we don't know how to use these tools, and we only see them as tools, as toys for entertainment and distraction, it'll be the same thing with relationships, man. If we don't have some self-respect and some boundaries within ourselves, some standards for ourselves, then we're gonna welcome people into our lives that are beneath the standards that we want to establish, that are beneath and that consistently violate our boundaries, and that consistently make us feel drained energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, materialistic. I got a boy, right? We've known each other for many years, went to high school, etc. Dominican. And I had told him about psilocybin, and I tell anybody that I meet new that I feel they're worth sharing the knowledge with about psilocybin. And it didn't take him until like 2 or 3 years after I told him for him to finally try him when I gave it to him at a parade. Came back to me afterwards like, damn, bro. He's like, yo, why the fuck did it take me so long to do this, bro? He's like, yo, I was around all these people that I thought were my friends, and I could see them. I could feel their energy. I could read everything. It was like a mask. It was like something was taken off, and I could see the truth. And he was like, yo, people that I thought was my friend was really just like stabbing me in the back right in my face. And I was like, yep. That's what it does. It clears up your eye of perception, your third eye, right? Your pineal gland. Your ability to perceive reality becomes much, much less cloudy and less clouded by the deception of humanity, right? What you've been brought up to believe and think about yourself and the world. And now you're able to see things more clearly. And I told him, I was like, yo, just like you can see those things clearly, now you have a responsibility. You have to eliminate all those relationships. And the best thing to do is to go about it intelligently. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to tell nobody anything. All you just need to do is, eliminate yourself from a lot of these circles sooner rather than later, because the longer it takes for you to establish the changes that you've seen are necessary, the worse things become. Once you see the truth, you can't pretend like you didn't see it. You can't pretend like you didn't know. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you find out your woman is being unfaithful to you, or your man is being unfaithful to you, and you try to pretend that though you didn't see it, as though you don't know, and you try to pretend that things are all fine and dandy, everything is going to begin to deteriorate at a more expeditious pace, in a speedier pace. Your mind, your emotions, everything will begin to deteriorate. Once you know something is wrong and you continue to do that wrong, we begin to destroy ourselves slowly but surely, especially mentally. We begin to develop psychosis and things of that nature, because we're doing something that is wrong, and we know that is wrong, and we continue to do it. That's why health gets worse once you figure out that, like, oh, what you're eating or what you're doing is bad for you, and you continue to do it anyway. With psilocybin, that's what it does. Once it opens your eyes, now you can't pretend like what you was doing was wrong. Once that eye opens up, you can't pretend that the wrong we were doing is right, because we know it's wrong. We know we're wrong. We feel it. Not only do we know that whatever it is, that whatever wrong we're doing is wrong, we also feel it to be wrong. Yet the sensation, the pleasure that is produced in that wrong, cause us to override logic and intuition. That's the crazy thing about the animal. You get what I'm saying? We override instincts, logic, and intuition through our desire for pleasurely sensations, sensations that are pleasing to the body. Some people get into a relationship and they can't get out of it, not because of anything other than the desire to not lose that comfort, that pleasure, the satisfaction that they feel when they're in that gush. Self-control, family. That's all I gotta say. Especially for my gentlemen. Self-control. We are not born with it, but we do not have to die without it. You can cultivate self-control. Learn to control yourself. It's something I battle with on a daily. Some days, more than on others. Some days I'm just so happy with how I'm, how well I'm manipulating the flesh in my level of productivity, in mind, in body, and in emotions. And then some days the sensations are just getting the best of me, and I'm like, fuck, man, I hate those days. But self-control, we're not born with it, but we at least have the opportunity to develop it and die with it. Self-mastery, family. Self-mastery. Only through self-mastery can we, materialize the masterpiece of us mastering peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the process. Just the process of mastering that piece is a masterpiece in itself. The process alone, just going through it day in, day out, waking up and messing up and trying again and continuing to try, is a masterpiece. You're designing a masterpiece if you continue to daily get up and do your best to become a better master of yourself, to get good at eliminating people, places, and things from your life that are not serving you, that are a disservice to you, and that are a hindrance to you arriving at your destination in life. Love, pleasures, sensations, riches, fortunes, fame is not worth your dignity, your honor, your self-respect, your desires in life, your ability to love yourself and to love those around you more efficiently, your ability to give to yourself and to give of yourself to the world. Because, you know, we should only be selfish for the purpose of being more selfless with our love, with our energy, with our attention, with our time, with our material resources, and with our mental space. We should be selfish so that we can be more selfless. Take that time to develop the self, to say, no, I can't go out with you, I can't do this, I can't do that, so that I can become a better person, so that I can give that better person back to the world. Yo, here we are. We at the pack. We had to go get our watch because we forgot it this morning while it was charging. We got a private at 3 p.m. So from now till then, I'm gonna bring my happy ass out in this basketball court, shoot some hoop, and get some sun on this lovely melanated skin of mine. Alhamdulillah. You get what I'm saying? You know, and none of the lifestyle practices that I'm doing right now at the level that I'm doing them, I'm not gonna say that I'm like all high level as shit, you know, all ridiculous like some of these greats that I admire, but none of these little habits and the new ones that I continue to add and the experiences that I make myself possible to have would have been possible had I not removed that situation from my life 4 years ago, which was taking so much of my meat, my mental space, my material resources, my energy, my attention, and my time.